We've seen it happening in Madhya Pradesh, we've seen it happening in Gujarat, and now it's all set to happen in the national capital, in Delhi. Bulldozer justice is going to play out on your screens in a matter of minutes from now, as security has been beefed up in Jahangirpuri, the area where there were communal clashes just a few days ago. The fallout of this violence has exploded in the national capital. After the communal clashes, the North Delhi civic body, the MCD, has announced a joint operation to remove encroachments in the area. They're calling it an anti-encroachment drive. The North Delhi Municipal Corporation has asked for additional police deployment of at least 400 cops in Jahangirpuri. The cops have complied. Additional security has been sent on the ground. The BJP had written a letter to the MCD, to the civic body, demanding that the illegal construction encroachments done by these alleged rioters be bulldozed, and that perhaps is what prompted this action. You also got a lot of sharp political reactions coming in. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has alleged that the BJP has declared a war against the poorest in the name of encroachment, and he said that Muslims in particular are being targeted. The MCD has called this an anti-encroachment drive. Be very, very clear that this is a drive to target properties belonging to the accused rioters.
हमारे प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो प्रदेश अध्यक्ष हैं आदेश गुप्ता जी, उन्होंने भी एक नॉर्थ एमसीडी को चिट्ठी लिखी है। उसमें लिखा गया है कि जोन से भी जो असामाजिक तत्व हैं जिन्होंने नॉनसेंस क्रिएट की उस शोभा यात्रा के अंदर, उन्होंने भी जो इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन कर रखी है या जो सरकारी ज़मीन को ग्रैब किया हुआ कब्जा कर रखा है, उसको शीघ्र से शीघ्र खाली करवाया जाए, उन पर एक्शन लिया जाए।
And let's straight take you across to the ground, to Jahangirpuri, where it's expected that bulldozers will be reaching any moment now. Shreya Chatterjee is joining us live from Jahangirpuri with the latest. Shreya, take us through what's happening with you.
Well, Akshita, I'll just give you a brief understanding that right now Delhi police is not really allowing the media to go exactly near the location where the police deployment, but just from here, very point, I'll try to show you a few of the pictures. That is, you see these shanties that are there on the road. We've been seeing that they are removing their valuable items like cylinders, like chairs, like their beds. They're removing these and they're taking into the houses inside. This after the news of an impending bulldozer drive has reached the lanes of the C and D block here in Jahangirpuri. So this is somewhere down the line, the fear psychosis has also started building in on the people. We are seeing these very people. You see these shanties. These are at the end of the day also illegal encroachment, because of which they are also scared that what if their shanties are razed down. That's a scare that they've reached. And you can see how they've barricaded these places right now so that easy movement is also not possible. That's one of the reasons you see that there has been ample police deployment. Police has sanitized those areas. I will ask my camera person to zoom in and show you the paramilitary that's waiting just outside that very lane where Ansar, who the Delhi police is calling the alleged mastermind, stays. You can see these people who are also on the streets right now trying to get a sense of whether they need to move away from here or not. That's the fear psychosis that prevails right now on the streets of Jahangirpuri, adjacent to the CD block, where most of the alleged riot accused are right now staying.
And that's the intention of going ahead with this kind of a so-called anti-encroachment drive as well, Shreya. It is to ensure that fear seeps into their minds, to ensure that nobody dares to take law into their own hands and resorts to any kind of violence or rioting. That is the clear intention behind taking this kind of a step. But what's the situation right now, Shreya? A few days ago, when cops had reached there, tried to take one of the accused Sonu's wife into custody, there was stone pelting that was reported. Right now, I think peaceful because we understand that there are over 1,000 police personnel on the ground right now.
The drones. Akshita, I'm sorry, I want to cut you through. I want to show you the exclusive visuals of the drones that are right now flying on the roads of Jahangirpuri. These are the drones that have been deployed to ensure and see that whether or not there are any stones that are lying on the rooftops. They're trying to get a full angle view of the security angle before a drive is conducted, where the stones are kept in place. See, the drones are moving near the top angle because they want to get a view from the roofs of these very buildings. If at all there are any stones or any other items that have been kept to attack people when the drive is conducted, or attack the policemen or attack the security forces, that's the reason drones are now roaming around the skies of Delhi's Jahangirpuri. These are exclusive visuals that we are getting you on the screens on India Today.
And we're putting out details also on our screens for our viewers of the kind of security measures that have been put in place to ensure that no violence breaks out, that everything remains under control. As Shreya also was showing you there, drones have been deployed across that entire area to ensure that all activity that plays out in the next few hours is very, very closely monitored. This is a template that's being followed, Shreya, because in the last few weeks we've seen incidents of violence, of these kind of riots happening in different parts of the country. A clear template, a clear script here that every rioter, even if he's just an accused at this point, will face the toughest of action, and a demolition drive has become a constant. You were in Khargone as well. You saw what played out there. It's a repeat of that, a rerun of that essentially.
Well, absolutely. This is an absolute template. This is a message that the administration is willing to send across to the alleged rioters. What we do, however, need to ask Akshita that whether the people on the ground actually feel that this is a definite action against those who were part of the riots, or this is just an eyewash to just possibly send out a political message. Because a lot of people in Khargone says that a lot of these rioters still roam around free. That's the reason that they feel that the demolition drive was not really conducted well. Today in Delhi, we all know those houses. We all know those accused, where they stay. We'll have to wait and watch whether the bulldozer reaches those lanes, demolishes those houses, and probably then we can say that yes, a message has been put across. The flip side too is that a lot of people are saying that these are alleged accused. They're not proven guilty yet. So why can't we wait for the law of the land to first prevail and then probably send out a message? So there are two different sides to it. But we'll have to wait and watch, Akshita, if indeed those bulldozers reach the lanes of those very houses. And again, I'll show you the drones. You can see how they are being monitored. Here you can see the drone operator. I'll try and have a word with him. आप drone operate करके देख रहे हो कि कोई पत्थर या फिर कुछ ऐसे रखा हुआ है नहीं ऐसे अच्छा ठीक है. He doesn't want to speak. He's working for the Delhi police. Obviously, they are here to take the security measures, and that's the reason you just saw those drones that are flying on the streets of Jahangirpuri to sanitize the area, if I can say particularly.
You know, I'll reiterate again that while the MCD circular that's been doing the rounds refers to this as an anti-encroachment drive, the timing of this isn't lost on anyone. It's very clearly a crackdown on the accused to send out a very, very tough message that anyone who resorts to violence will face the strictest of action, which is why, coupled with this kind of a demolition drive, Shreya, you also have 5 of the main accused who've been identified as the main rioters, the one who hatched this conspiracy, being booked and slapped with the NSA.
Well, yes, absolutely. 5 accused have been booked with NSA. Sonu Chikna, Aslam, Ansar, we see Ahir and Dilshad. Now, 2 of them, they also have a link with that in Bengal, is why we saw the crime branch people reach the state of Bengal in East Mednipur, one in Holdia, one in Stutahata, where the crime branch officials are right now getting the background verifications of 2 of the people who have been imposed with NSA. The other 3, they reside in these very lanes where the Delhi police will be providing security if at all that bulldozer drive happens in the first place. So you can see the atmosphere on the ground. You can see those paramilitary jawans that are still roaming around, sanitizing the area. Drones are circulating on the skies of Jahangirpuri. Full preparation made. The bulldozer is, however, yet to be seen.
We've seen this happening, and Shreya, just stay on with us. I'm going to come across to you in a few moments from now. We've seen this already happening in Madhya Pradesh, in Khargone, in Gujarat, in Khambat, where again there were incidents of communal clashes that were reported. And similarly now in Delhi, any moment now we're being told authorities will be bringing in bulldozers for a demolition drive. They're clearing off that entire area. We're being told that 1,500 policemen, this includes both police and paramilitary, have been deployed on those lanes of Jahangirpuri. It is inside the small by-lanes that the properties of these accused are reportedly based. And right now, we're being told that even as drones are being used to monitor all activity, locals, there's a sense of fear among them. They're not sure if their properties are going to be targeted, exactly where this demolition drive is going to happen. But many of them also now clearing off their properties, small shanties that were set up on the side. There were people, in fact, who had their properties set out on the side of the road. They're clearing all of that in the fear that they could be targeted also by the administration in this anti-encroachment drive, as the MCD has put it. Be very clear that the timing of this is to send out a message to the accused as well. Now, the MCD is referred to this as an anti-encroachment drive. Illegal properties are there very much in Jahangirpuri. But the fact that it's happening right now, days after riots happened in that exact same area and that exact same street, is a clear message to the accused. And remember that this comes barely 24 hours after Home Minister Amit Shah sent out a very, very clear message to his force, saying that take such strict action that this particular incident sets a precedent and nobody else dares to resort to this kind of violence. We're tracking the latest updates that's coming in. Take a look at that footage on your screens from Jahangirpuri, where families now are moving out everything that they had. Small shanties, small establishments, chairs, etc. that were put up on the sides of these streets are now being removed hastily by the locals, who fear that their properties also could be targeted. These are all illegal small properties set up on the side of the road, which is now being removed, cleared out by the locals. You can see all of them carrying out their stoves, their gas cylinders, their small setups on those roads, fearing that it could all be destroyed once the bulldozers come in. The police also allowing them to clear up their property, to take all of their belongings away from the roads. All those small shanties that you see on the sides, they're off the police as well, on both sides of the road, which made it, a cramped space, made it impossible for the bulldozers to go in. The police is ensuring that they clear all of that, that they allow the locals to take away their stuff as well. Shreya is back with us. Shreya, we just played out a sequence where locals who are scared that their property could also be targeted are now clearing up from the sides of the road. The police also are allowing them to do that. Not sure if Shreya is with us. We'll go across to her in a few seconds. All right, I'm being told Shreya is connected with us again. Shreya, can you hear me?
Yes, Akshita, I can hear you.
So I was asking you about a sequence that we played just a few moments ago, Shreya.
Akshita,
about the property and belongings that locals were removing from the sides of the road.
Well, Akshita, these are the houses, these were the people who were removing their belongings. Some of them lives in these very shanties on the roads, as I was also saying earlier, that somewhere down the line right now they live under the fear that if at all a demolition drive starts, whether or not they will also be coming in the front of it. So that's the reason you see that they're somewhere down the line scared. They're somewhere down the line afraid. They removed some of their belongings from here. They removed their cylinders from here. They removed their fridge from here. These are what they say they are their important valuables, and ahead of an impending bulldozer drive which might happen on the streets of Jahangirpuri. This is the kind of safety and security measures that these people are right now resorting to ensure that if at all their shanties are demolished, if at all their illegal encroachments are demolished, then probably a few of their valuables can be saved. So this is a last-minute attempt to ensure that safety is kept in place so far as valuable items are concerned. And those are the visuals that India Today got exclusively on their cameras, as has been played out on our screens.
Shreya, as we continue getting our viewers all the updates from the ground, as you continue to report for us, I just want to also round up the kind of reactions that have come in. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi is taken to Twitter to question this particular step of a demolition drive. He's alleging that it's one particular community, that only Muslims are being targeted. arrested. He's accused the BJP of taking away property from the poor, destroying everything that they have. Owaisi has been very, very critical of what played out in Khargone as well, when you saw demolitions similar to what's expected to happen in Jahangirpuri, demolitions of the accused in this particular case. Essentially, the criticism of the opposition here, Shreya, if you look at what the AIMIM has said, if you look at what the AAP has said, they're saying that, you know, these are alleged rioters. They've not been pronounced guilty by the courts. So is this an extreme step to take at a time when the investigation is still in the initial phase? We're talking about just a few days ago, those riots actually happening. The Delhi police also confirmed that this is right now the first phase of their probe.
Well, absolutely. See, this is a criticism that we see the administration here in Delhi, the MCD right now face, because very pertinent point that these are all accused. They are not yet proven guilty. A charge sheet has to be filed. The hearings will happen in the court, and probably it's a long procedure before they can be proven as guilty. But why is there a sudden requirement to ignore the law of the land and just conduct a demolition drive? There is a criticism, very much a criticism on the ground about how the things are being handled. But these are two sides. One side says that they want to send out a message to those who they called as rioters and seep inside a deep fear in them. The other side obviously is criticizing the timing of the drive. Why is this drive happening only in Jahangirpuri? Are there no illegal encroachments anywhere in Delhi? And if at all these are for the rioters, why can't the law of the land wait to pronounce them as guilty? So these are two sides, but we are giving you the visuals, Akshita, the psychosis of the fear psychosis, as I point, how people are removing their valuables, whatever they can consider as their valuables, from these very shanties before what they say a demolition drive happens. See the kind of arrangements they are making. They're trying to remove their local these thelas that they have where they do business. They are trying to remove their thelas, get security, so that if at all there is a drive that takes place, these can be saved. These are exclusive visuals that we are bringing to our viewers only on India Today.
Okay, Shreya, even as we're talking about the kind of reactions coming in from the opposition, let's also talk about how the BJP has responded to it. Even as we're getting you those updates from Jahangirpuri, the BJP has responded saying, why communalize this anti-encroachment drive? Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP responding to Owaisi, responding to the Aam Aadmi Party, who also said that the BJP is trying to disrupt peace in Delhi. The BJP is saying that this is the victim card that's being played after action has been taken against rioters. The BJP essentially justifying this crackdown against the accused, saying they're rioters. Why defend them? Why play the victim card? And also questioning the communalization of the anti-encroachment drive. This is in direct response to Owaisi saying Muslims are being targeted, that these are properties being targeted because it belongs to Muslims. And it's in response to that the BJP has said that the anti-encroachment drive, illegal properties being targeted, is unnecessarily being communalized. We're going to try and get you a reaction also from the BJP on this broadcast, but clearly at this point, Shehzad Poonawalla responding, saying that the victim card is being played after action was taken against rioters. It was, interestingly, the Delhi BJP chief who first demanded this kind of a demolition drive take place, Shreya.
Face the same level of examination. So we'll have to wait and watch for that. But until now, I think the politicians will be up for politics. We can only send the facts and visuals from the ground on what's transpiring here in Jahangirpuri right now.
Let's, in fact, we'll be getting you reactions also to what Asaduddin Owaisi has said when he said that the BJP is targeting the poor in the name of encroachment, is going to destroy homes in Delhi like what happened in Madhya Pradesh as well. Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. Shehzad, good morning. Owaisi there saying that the BJP has declared war against the poorest, referring to the demolition drive that we could see in a few moments from now in Jahangirpuri. Your response?
You know, Mr. Owaisi, Bhadkau Bhaijan of India, has a habit of communalizing every action. When action is being taken against illegal encroachment, why divide it into Hindu and Muslim? And for Mr. Owaisi, sorry to say, even Yaqub Memon was a Halat Ka Mara who had been convicted by the Supreme Court. Even Indian Mujahideen terrorists are somebody who have been caught by circumstances and are Majloom for Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi. So in this vote bank politics and politics of appeasement, They always try to communalize action that is being taken as per law against illegal encroachments. First, they communalize the country, then they communalize classrooms in the name of hijab, they communalize electricity into Hindu-Musalman, and now they're communalizing action being taken against illegal encroachments into Hindu-Muslim.
Shehzad, the OAC also referring to what played out in Khargon when all of the accused and Muslims' properties particularly was targeted in Khargon. And also there are questions here about whether this kind of action in Jahangirpuri is warranted, considering that these accused rioters, yes, have been taken into custody, but haven't been pronounced guilty by the courts just yet. So are we taking, fast-tracking justice here?
Mr. Owaisi is a very learned member of parliament and a barrister. The action in Khargon was taken at least 6-7 days ago. Why hasn't he moved the courts if he was so sure that illegality had been committed by the administration of Madhya Pradesh? I want to use your platform. Your channel is a very big platform, and I challenge Mr. Owaisi, although I'm just a spokesperson and he is a member of parliament. Why doesn't he have a debate if he feels that there is even one illegality? Mr. Owaisi, rather than wasting his time on television bites, should have approached the courts, taken action, and should have got the administration chastised by the courts. Surely he believes the courts of law. But they won't go to courts. Neither the Congress, nor Aam Aadmi Party, nor Mr. Owaisi. All they will do is use your platform to communalize, to create a sense of victimhood among certain people, and to try and play the appeasement card instead of acting on rioters and ensuring that action on rioters is taken. Look at Karoli. The main accused, Matlub Ahmed, has not been caught. But when action is taken in Khargon, in Jahangirpuri, in Khambat, they will come out playing the victimhood card. And this is their double standard. I challenge Mr. Owaisi. Why hasn't he moved the courts? He was spreading this mosque theory that a Bhagwa Jhanda was put up in the mosque. Why hasn't he gone to court and filed a criminal complaint if the police is not listening to him? Why hasn't he given the evidence of this claim? And we in the media have not been able to question Mr. Owaisi that what about all these claims that he makes? Why doesn't he take them to a court of law and ensure that the BJP administration is punished for it if they are communal?
We'll be sure to raise that with the AIMIM as well. Shehzad, one final question to you. Is this the new template? Is this the new normal? That in cases where riots happen, days later, even before the court actually pronounces the accused guilty, this kind of a demolition drive, bulldozer justice will happen?
Look, justice needs to happen. Justice can't wait, but justice is delivered by the court. But yes, whatever is part of procedure, that has to be undertaken, and that procedure can't stop merely because somebody chooses to divide law into how it should function on the basis of religion. Law acts without seeing the religion of a person. Procedure is done without seeing the religion of a person. And therefore, if there are illegal encroachments in Khambat, in Khargon, in any other part of the country, in Jahangirpuri, those actions will be taken. But yes, just because somebody wants to defend somebody in the name of religion and communal appeasement politics, those actions can't be stopped.
Okay, Shehzad, I appreciate you taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. The BJP responding to Owaisi saying that this is unnecessary communalizing of a demolition drive. That's unnecessary to communalize every single aspect, including this anti-encroachment drive. As we get you the latest updates from the ground in Jahangirpuri, look at those images on your screens also of the kind of security on ground. There are drones constantly monitoring all the activity there. Right now, from what Shreya, who's been reporting from the ground for the last few hours, tells us, there's a sense of fear among the locals that their properties could also be targeted, that their properties could also be razed down to the ground. We only hope that this doesn't escalate, this doesn't become a violent situation again. Just a few days ago, when there was an attempt by police to take into custody one of the accused, Sonu's wife, we saw pelting being reported again. Now you can see that the police also are walking through the streets of Jahangirpuri. They're sanitizing the entire area to ensure that this area is ready when the bulldozers pour in as well. So you can see that the police, they're fully armed, many of them in riot gear. We're told about 1,500 personnel have been deployed on the ground, and they're deployed across the streets of Jahangirpuri to ensure that any untoward incident is immediately taken care of is immediately addressed. And this has been the situation from early this morning. We're being told that in a few moments from now, at about 9:30, is when the bulldozers are expected to roll into the streets of Jahangirpuri. They're going to be targeting all illegal property. So all the shanties that you see on the sides, locals fear that that too will be completely razed down. We saw this playing out in Madhya Pradesh, in Khargone just a few days ago. We saw soon after the same situation playing out in Khambat. And now expect those scenes of a bulldozer razing down properties to play out in a few moments from now on your screens from Jahangirpuri. Let me take this back across to Shreya Chatterjee for more details. Shreya, we understand that the Delhi police has even conducted a flag march in almost every single lane of Jahangirpuri. You're seeing heightened presence of cops there.
अपना सामान हटा लीजिए, बुलडोजर चलेगा। माइक में ऐलान हुआ था, हम लोग सुना है।
माइक में मस्जिद से ऐलान हुआ था।
कहीं से हुआ, मस्जिद से हुआ, कहाँ से हुआ, मतलब आवाज आए।
मुझे ऐलान हुआ कि बुलडोजर का सामान आप हटा।
कल को 5 बजे तो ऐलान हुआ था, पुलिस ने ऐलान किया था जो आप लोग सही से रह लो, कोई परेशानी नहीं है। जो परेशानी था वो हल हो गया।
सामान सब हटा के ले जा रहे हो,
क्या करें?
ठीक है, आप लोग भी सारे सामान दीदी सब हटा रहे हो।
बहुत खुश है मैम, बहुत ज्यादा खुश है। क्यों 2 दिन बाद बच्चे भूखे मरने वाले हैं? क्यों ऐसे तड़प के मरेंगे? सरकार देखने में बड़ा मजा आया।
सामान लेकिन आप लोग सेफली लेके गए हो, क्योंकि ऐसा सुनने को आप लोगों को मिला है कि बुलडोजर चलने वाला है।
हाँ,
कितने सामान, किस किस कीमती सामान, जैसे अब अगर आप बताएं।
अब कीमती सामान क्या बताए? झुग्गी झोपड़ी में क्या कीमती सामान होगा? क्या बताऊं? कहाँ तलक बताऊं? वो उधर का क्या बताया? क्या वो रोहिंग्या मुसलमान उधर रहता है? तुम लोग देखने आए तो रोहिंग्या मुसलमान इधर रहने वाला।
See, you know, there is a scare, there is a fear psychosis that is right now here on the ground. People are obviously tense, they are obviously scared. That's the reason you see that these people, they are saying that they are removing all their valuables. These are those people, you know, we spoke with. We'll actually try and get you those voices on camera again. Here some of them are people, they are keeping their stuff. Madam, आपने भी अपना सामान रख दिया है, और लेकिन ऐलान आपने सुना था कि हटा दो सामान।
हटाने के लिए बोला था, कल ऐसे ही बोल दिया था, कोई परेशानी नहीं, आप लोग जैसे हो ऐसे रहो,
लेकिन सामान हटा दो।
सामान हटाओ। कुछ रोड के लिए बताया था।
ठीक है, तो एज यू हर्ड अक्षिता, आपने मैम आपने हटाया था सामान। एक बार फिर से अगर हमारे कैमरे को बता दे कि कौन से सामान हटाए थे आपने?
हमने हटाया, हमारा चूल्हे, चाय का बिगाड़ा, जार बिगाड़ा, फ्रिज, ये सब था, सारा वही हटाया।
ठेला भी आपका था ना, वो आपने हटाया?
वो तो दूसरा का ठेला में मांग के सामान डोल के ले गया।
रख कहाँ रहे हो? आपके पास दूसरा घर तो नहीं होगा कि आप रख रहे हो?
ये रोड में रखा हुआ, चलो दिखाऊंगा। अभी सड़क में रखा हुआ, फेंका हुआ सामान, जब बुलडोजर चला जाएगा तब रखूंगा। रखना बोलेगा, हटाऊंगा, नहीं तो कहाँ सड़क में चाय का दुकान करके बच्चे
कोई नोटिस मिला था आप लोगों को?
हमको कोई नोटिस नहीं मिला था।
So you hear them, Akshita. They say that they've not got any notice, but they're scared that the bulldozer might raise their structures, might raise their valuables, is why they are removing all these valuables from the locations.
So fear translating to anger also on the ground there. Shreya getting us voices from some of the locals. What they're essentially saying is that they're now moving all of their properties away from the road, unsure if their property, their belongings could also be targeted by the bulldozers in matter of minutes really from now. There's been an announcement made, correct Shreya, from the Delhi police, asking and telling locals that this kind of a demolition drive is going to begin?
Well, Akshita, that's what the people over here are claiming. We haven't heard this announcement to be very true, but we spoke with these few families who are removing their valuables, and they say that yesterday at around 5 p.m. an announcement was made. However, Delhi police did tell them that you can stay in these locations but remove your valuables. That's quote-unquote the reaction that we have got from these people on the ground, which very categorically points out at least one thing, that there is a fear psychosis. Even if the bulldozer hasn't reached, those visuals from Khargone, those visuals from Gujarat in itself, and the announcement of a bulldozer drive in itself has led to this kind of a fear psychosis. People are scared, people are angry. We saw those angry voices on camera who are reacting, and that's obviously because they feel that their houses will be razed down.
What's the situation currently, Shreya? You know, we've been talking about the kind of security measures put in place. Have there been any sporadic incidents of stone pelting in response to that announcement that there's going to be a demolition drive now?
Well, Well, fortunately, Akshita, no. There's absolutely
Okay.
peace on the
That's good to
ground.
know.
There's absolutely nothing of that sort that has happened on the ground. No such sporadic incidents. But we see officials on the ground who are here probably for the demolition drive. Look, demolition? Huh? MCD se ho? We have voices from the MCD.
नहीं हम ड्यूटी लगाई है एमसीडी डिपार्टमेंट से जी जी हमें अपनी झाड़ू औजार अपने लेके खड़े होंगे सफाई के लिए हाँ हमारी लेबर पूरी आई हुई है ड्यूटी लगाई गई है एमसीडी डिपार्टमेंट से
तो आप लोगों के MCD से आज कोई अवैध मकान तोड़ने
हमारा कोई ऐसा हम तो ड्यूटी दी गई
नॉर्थ MCD से
हाँ नॉर्थ एमसीडी से
These are officials from North MCD, but they say that they do not have any such information about an illegal demolition drive. They have come here for their regular job. But yes, we'll have to wait and watch, Akshita, if at all a demolition drive happens, because the timing was that of 9:30 a.m. and we already are at 9:30 a.m. But so far the bulldozer is yet not to be seen. But Delhi police has arranged for all the security on the ground.
Yeah, it's dot 9:30 right now. The MCD in its circular mentioned the timing from 9:30. They sought additional deployment of police, mentioned about 400 personnel. What we see on the ground right now is 1,500 police personnel as well as paramilitary forces. So they're not leaving anything to chance. And it's very clear that anyone who decides to resort to pelting or taking law into their own hands will face the most stringent action. That's a clear message that's gone out in the last 24 hours alone. If you look at the fact that the NSA has been slapped against the main accused, or the fact that right now we're talking about a demolition drive against properties owned by the accused. We're still, of course, waiting, and Shreya is getting us those live reports. The bulldozers are yet to roll through the streets of Jahangirpuri, but it's expected that in some time from now, they will start off their demolition drive. The MCD, in their communication, Shreya, they've referred to this as an anti-encroachment drive. Many of the people around you also, I'm being told, are removing all of their belongings and moving in. Have most of them decided to stay indoors? Are people being allowed to step out of their homes right now?
No, they're not, because we saw the Delhi police come outside and make announcements of people to move inside their lanes. We were speaking with a few of these people when Delhi police came and asked them to move inside. But yes, as you pointed out, people are not on the streets. A few of them are allowed right now because they're taking their valuables. And see, this is a sort of a parking area, Akshita, which is just adjacent to the CD block. Some of the people have taken protection over there. They are staying there right now as Delhi police sanitizes the area, as Delhi police's deployment continues. But so far, peace prevails on the ground. Fear psychosis, yes, we clearly got those visuals where people are removing the valuables because they are scared that those will be taken away. And but right now, the bulldozer is not yet to be seen. There's only police deployment, security forces deployment, security measures being taken, people taking security measures with their valuables. But whether this encroachment drive will begin, we'll probably have to wait and watch for a few more hours.
Okay, Shreya, I'm going to request you to stay on with me. We're slipping into a very, very short break here on India Today. On the other side, we're going to continue getting you all the updates from Jahangirpuri.